Testing. Hi, can you guys hear me? I'm trying a new setup today. I don't know if I like it yet, but we'll see. Um, yeah, you can hear me. Awesome. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with the queue. I think I'll just do it like old school, which is fine. I'll just keep a list like a granny. Let me grab a pen. Ooh, new pen. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so trying out a new setup, so thanks for rolling with the punches, guys. And I know it kind of doesn't feel like Friday is tomorrow. It was just like, I don't know, such a long week though. Hey, Orange. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to be using my Moonology deck. I have not used this thing in like forever. I usually use my Spirit de la Lune deck, but we're just coming out of the new moon phase. Hey, Aura. We're just coming out of the new moon phase. So I'm going to go ahead and use this for a while. I haven't, I'll kind of give it a try. We'll see. Oh, it worked for some people. That's weird. Huh. I'll have to figure that out. So, don't worry, Jenna. I have you on the list. So what I'm going to do, guys, for those of you new to my channel, is I'm going to do a quick community read while you guys work your way into the chat. And let me start my list. And I'm going to just go ahead and turn the queue off because this is what I get for trying to expand my horizons. Don't worry, guys. Just use join to enter so that way I can like see it stand out and I'll write your name down. All right, let's do a community read. Like I said, we had the new moon pass us recently. I think it was on Tuesday. So let's see what kind of energy we have going with us. And it was, oh my gosh, it was the new moon. It was the Lunar New Year. There were like a million things happening all at once. So, and there was an eclipse, speak of the devil. So this is conclusions are within. This is the full moon eclipse, how serendipitous. So I feel like with this card as a community, it is saying we're like in the right time right now. This is where we need to be a little introspective. Start to kind of look within yourself for solutions versus externally, if that's what you have been doing so far. And then we have here balance, spirituality, and practicality. This is the full moon in Pisces. So I think really what's happening is like we as a community need to look inward for how we're going to balance things, especially emotionally. We're starting to finally come out of for most of us in the Northern Hemisphere, coming out of the colder and darker part of the year. So we're still kind of shaking off that seasonal depression, I feel like, for some. And then otherwise, it's just like a stagnancy before things finally start to blossom and come to life. So yeah, just look inward for that stuff. And I love the concept here of practicality, because I think that sometimes you expect too much of yourselves in this time of year, in the season, when it's just stillness is okay. Like, it's okay to be still. And then let's do this last card here. We have fiery climax approaches. This is the full moon in Aries. Ooh, I really like this. So we're kind of going through this stillness here, looking within, finding that balance. And I think it's going to prep us very well for when like spring comes and all of this energy starts blossoming. And it's right around the corner, right? What is the equinox? Like the in a month, like a month, right? So yeah, I think as a community, we're kind of like on the right path to enjoy a little bit more of this stillness before things start to fire to life in terms of our like maybe social lives, just emotionally and mentally and everything like that. All right, so I have Jenna, Orange, and Miss Marie. If I'm missing your name, just use join so it stands out in the chat and I don't lose you. Let me know, guys, if you did anything interesting for the new moon. I didn't. I did something for the last new moon phase, and then this one I just kind of chilled out because I had off on Monday. So Jenna, go ahead. Yeah, Miss Marie, I don't know what's going on. I need to find a way to share the chat, but I'm dual streaming. So the Qbot was like, nah, I'm only going to work over here today. So Jenna, I don't do third-party readings. Oh, I should have announced this. I don't do third-party readings. So I won't do what people feel or think or their intentions. But I can see what the overall connection is with you guys if you're cool with that. Happy to see what the energy is between you guys. Awesome. So let's see what the energy is between you and Zach. Whoops. Oof. There we go. One more. So generally I'll do like 2 cards for my free readings, and paid readings or more, and I'll pull some oracle cards to go with it, just to let you guys know. So for you, you have the 2 of Cups in the night. Yes, 2 of Cups and the Knight of Swords. The 2 of Cups is a great start. There's like that balance and harmony and just that unity that's going on here with the 2 of Cups. So I feel like things are going fairly well between you guys. There's this like air of balance, but then you still have a lot of movement with the Knights. So it makes me wonder if, so the Knight of Swords is, they're usually the ones that find a lot of inspiration and like to kind of run with it. They can be a little impulsive, so things can sometimes feel a little chaotic and a little unpredictable at times when dealing with a 9 or with a knight, especially the Knight of Swords. So, and you said he's a Gemini air sign, right? Yep. So that makes sense. So it feels like maybe there's a little bit of chaos, but overall, well, there's a great balance there. So I wonder if you are balancing out some of that energy that Zach is giving off. But I think that having a lot of the stillness and emotional fulfillment that you get from the 2 of Cups and that balance there, helps to transition some of that high energy that the Knights have that kind of make it hard for them to want to sit still, and it makes them want to kind of roam, so to speak, and go from idea to idea and thing to thing. So sometimes it might feel like you're being dragged along a bit. Oh, that's so funny. Not funny that he has it, but I'm like, that makes sense the way that I'm describing things. So I think overall though, Knights are they're ambitious. They are very much like ones to kind of do what they say and say what they do, right? So there's really not much in terms of lack of clarity. Sometimes the Knight of Swords can suffer a little bit from the overthinking and get in their head, but at the end of the day, paired with this 2 of Cups, I think that there is still enough of that harmony that things end up settling out regardless. Oh, forgot my jug of water. That's fine. But yeah, overall, I think this has like really good energy. Seems like a really fun dynamic in a sense, even though it can be a little chaotic at times. It's never a dull moment, right? Ooh, yeah, there's that like cerebral energy of the of the swords there. Oh, yeah, that's okay. We all get in our head sometimes, so totally understand. You're welcome. Feel free to hang out and listen to some other readings. Oh, guys, don't forget to like this video. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. It helps with the algorithm. And so next up we have orange. What kind of engineer is he? I always love hearing about other engineers. I wish I could overlay the chat so you guys could all like see each other. Orange, go ahead, put your question in the chat if you're still in the chat. I probably could figure it out, but that's for future Brittany to figure out. Hey, love. Hey, Jean. How's it going? Alrighty, Miss Marie, if you're still in the chat, go. Oh, make sure you don't put your questions in before I call you guys. Just use like join so I know that you're joining the queue. Here, I'll put it up so people know. I haven't been too bad. Oh, that didn't work. Miss Marie, if you're still here, put your question in the chat. Oh, I see it. There we go. Sorry about that. Gotcha. And Jean added you to the queue, which is now my paper list. Let's see if you guys will be best friends in the future. I don't know about best friends. I think you guys will be cordial. So the Page of Cups and Ace of Cups in reverse. So the Page of Cups indicates that there is like a willingness to, sorry, I don't know why I'm sideways today. There is a willingness to just like engage in like just to be cordial, I guess. The pages are really wants to kind of put themselves out there in terms of being friendly overall. They are gonna explore different like people and options. It kind of reminds me of the type of person that is like good at socializing, like thinking of like a socialite, right? That kind of thing. But the Ace of Cups in reverse tells me that it's not going to really go much further, in my opinion, than something surface level. Maybe just something in passing or just an overall friend group. So yeah, it's I think not best friends, but you might be social. Yeah. Hey, Luke. I decided to try dual streaming, and the comments, I thought Restream would compile them, and it doesn't. So I'm going to try it a different way next time. But it's fine. Jean, go ahead, put your question in the chat. All right, let's see. Let's see what is coming your way, Jean. One second. Alrighty. Hey, Ari. Seventh son, I will get you after Jean. You're not up yet. All right. So we're getting a lot of pages today. It's very interesting. So we have the Page of Swords, and then we have the Queen of Cups. So I think there's still some growth here, but there's a really, it seems like connection wise, what was the acronym? I. So it seems like I really makes you feel like you can step into your queen era. The Queen of Cups specifically is very good at nurturing and really building things up using that emotional intelligence that she has. She is just very emotionally in tune with herself, her surroundings, the people around her, the relationships she builds. So I feel like I brings that out in you in a kind of way, and you can see yourself becoming that person if you don't feel like you already are that person. And then the Page of Swords indicates that there's still a lot of growth that has to happen between you guys first. So the pages are like the students. They're more in the beginning phase of things. So this is like really where you're sussing things out, and but the Page of Swords specifically is being very thoughtful and mindful about what that looks like. They haven't really put all the pieces together yet to determine to be more ambitious like the Knight, because they don't know what they're pushing towards yet. So there still seems to be some growth that has to happen between you and I, but you and I feel like I'm talking about myself. But I think that overall it's a really good start. It's just obviously, a little bit more work has to be done in terms of getting to know each other, finding out how you guys fit in together in this aspect of you feeling like you can be this Queen of Cups part of yourself. There is a vulnerability with the Queen that has to happen, or I'm sorry, doesn't have to happen. What I mean is there's a vulnerability with the Queen that I think you probably want to start to bring out, but it's hard to do when you don't fully know someone yet. So I feel like it's just part of the journey. It sounds like a good journey to go on. You have a lot of things to explore, which is sometimes usually part of the exciting part. So yeah, I would say keep going down it, exploring. Ari, no, my queue's not closed. I'm dual streaming, so it's like it didn't like that, and then I didn't want to like end the stream to fix it. You're welcome, Jean. Alrighty, Seventh Son, can you repost your question for me? So remember, guys, if you'd like a more in-depth question than just the two cards, you can use my tip link in the description. And those of you on my horizontal format should see that popping up now. Alrighty. Thank you, Seven. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, we have the Hermit, and then we have the King of Wands. this mirrors a lot of our community reading, actually. So the theme of our community reading, that I'll go into these specifically, was about using the stillness to reflect internally about finding balance before we get to a point of things becoming much more energetic as we start to enter springtime and things start coming to, not coming to life, but, coming back alive and start blossoming and growing, where we start to enter the we're entering, leaving the darker period of the year and now entering energetically like the lighter period where there's a lot more energy typically. So this mirrors that a lot, where the Hermit is asking you right now to sit with yourself, reflect internally. This is where if things are going on, this is where you reflect on how you're handling those situations. And especially, I think, when there are situations that maybe you feel a little out of control in, and how you can better find, if we go back to the community reading and compare, on top of that is how can you find balance in those situations, right? So on the flip side, we still have that similar aspect here with this King of Wands in terms of just a lot of high energy. We have that fire and growth that we get from the wands in general. And the King of Wands he's very in control of his domain. So the King of Wands specifically is really, really good at harnessing any of that energy that's around him and refocusing it into something productive and something worthwhile to him. So the thing is, in order to get there, you need to understand what is actually worthwhile. To make it more practical, out of the things that you're dealing with, the things that are being thrown at you, what should you keep with you and reshape and reform and take control over? And what should you just kind of put on the back burner? It is what it is. It's one of those things that, c'est la vie, life happens kind of thing, and you just have to get through it. So stuff like that. And I think that will help shape you into this King of Wands state, where you start to feel a little bit more confident overall that you're handling situations in the way that you want. You also have room now and understanding to discern what are the right things to be passionate about, what are the things that you need to leave behind, all of that stuff. It's very the King of Wands is really the inspiration of. He finds a lot of inspiration in the world around him. So yeah, thanks for being patient, 7. Alrighty, Ari, go ahead, put your question in the chat. Hopefully I didn't miss anyone. I don't think I did. Oh, well, thank you, Seventh Son. Have a good weekend. If anyone's doing anything fun this weekend, please let me know. I'm thinking of going to this book swap on Saturday, and I'm kind of excited about it. Oh, thank you. I like that your name is Fine Smiles as well. Ava, yeah, go ahead and ask your question. Currently caught up on the queue right now. Yeah, book swap sounds good. I have some books that I finished that I need to do something with, but I don't want to get rid of them, but I know I won't reread them either. I didn't enjoy them enough that I want them to stay on my shelf. So Avi, Ava, sorry. Yes and no's okay, I guess. That's not my preference, but what I don't do is like other people's. Avani. Oh, okay, thank you. Um I don't do what other people feel or think about you. That's kind of their business, and I don't like to put that out on the internet. So I can ask like the energy between you guys, or if you have another question, that totally works too. Oh, yeah, that works too. The little book houses. I always thought those were for kids though, so I never really thought about it until like very recently someone told me they did that. Okay, let's see what the future potential is. Yeah, it wasn't until one of my friends told me they do that that I was like, oh, I didn't know that was like adults went there. I thought it was just like kids books because they're always like, oh, we have our first repeat of the night. So we have the Fool in reverse, and then we have the Queen of Cups. So I don't think necessarily that there's going to be much that goes very far for you guys. The Fool is the first card of the major arcana. It literally starts off the journey, and in reverse it's a sign that either there's just too many roadblocks or there are just misstep after misstep. So while you're trying to take steps, it just never aligns in a way that is productive. It doesn't feel like inherently bad in a sense. It just almost feels like the timing isn't right. I do think that I think that it does end up opening you up to understanding perhaps yourself a little bit better, in terms of being able to tap into this Queen of Cups energy and being able to really step into a little bit more emotional confidence in terms of, you know, what it is you're willing to put up with in the future, stuff like that. The Queen of Cups, the queens in general imbue a lot of that emotional energy, and so do cups. So this is a person who's really, really emotionally intelligent, and I think that this journey between you and Matt will really open you up to that. So it feels much more like a lessons learned kind of journey than a end goals kind of thing, if that makes sense. But the Queen of Cups, she's really good at identifying the things around her that need to be nurtured and grown, including the parts of herself. So I think that's really going to be a lot of the core things that you get out of this connection with Matt. So it's probably not exactly what you're looking for, but it does, at least it feels like you get some really cool growth out of it and some better understanding of this part of yourself. Excuse me. Oh, no. Okay. Well, it's always nice when, I mean, obviously, I'm sure that's disappointing, but I think it's nice that you're able to confirm a lot of like your intuition, right? You start to understand that you can trust yourself, right? So to speak. Hey, that damn Naj. I'll just call you Naj if that's okay. Yeah, I know it is. That's why I try to give a little bit of the like silver lining as much as I can in readings like that, because at least you are kind of stepping into your queendom, regardless of it. OJ. Okay. Alrighty. Um Alrighty, OJ. I just finished up with Avani, so go ahead, put your question in the chat. Good luck with everything, though, Avani. Let's see. There is a possibility of it. It depends on overcoming this Five of Pentacles in reverse. So, Five of Pentacles in reverse is it's really about finding help in terms of dealing with feeling put out, right? So this is where you kind of have to be willing to ask for advice or ask for help or ask for like resources that are needed in some kind of way in order to get to that step of possibly being able to reconnect. Now, what I see here in the Fool is a good sign, but it's not indicative that things are going to go anywhere. So the Fool is starting off that journey, but not having more to see from there. It could go either way, right? But I do see that as a good sign. It's just a matter of, if you're going to put the time and energy into making it work or not. And I don't want to put it just on you. It kind of has to go both ways. It's like a dual party thing that has to happen in order to make the Five of Pentacles actually realize, so to speak. And then you have to understand from there with this Fool card that you should probably look at it from starting from scratch, like clean slate kind of thing, starting fresh. And like, if you look at it, she looks very free, very much just letting go and seeing what happens from there. So those two things have to happen. I feel like I don't like to say yes and no for things like that, because there's a little bit of onus that's on you. And if you don't do it, then the answer's no, right? So, and there's a little bit of onus on Abby as well. But I do think that there is room to reconnect. I love this card. It's very pretty. Yeah, Luke, I won't do like, I guess to specify, I won't do like if so-and-so wants to get back together, but if there's like a balance between the two, it's a weird distinction. I have my weird boundaries about it. You're welcome. I'm gonna go grab some water real quick. Be right back. All right, and I'm back. So, Luke, you missed it. I actually used my Moonology deck for like the first time in probably 4 years. And I didn't hate it. I don't know. Maybe I need to give it another chance, but I have my Spirit Zella Loon deck that I usually pull out for the new moon, right? But what are we in? New moon in... Let me see here. Whoops. Oh, okay. New moon in Pisces. Did I get that card earlier? What was it? Oh, it was full moon in Pisces. All right. Wonder where everybody is today. Probably because I haven't been on in 5 ever. Hi, Chrissy. Yeah, right now I don't have much of a queue, so go ahead, put your question in the chat. All right, let's see. Oops, there we go. So I don't think anything's coming right now. We have the 5 of Wands in reverse, and then we have the Magician in reverse. Actually, no, yeah, my deck's not upside down. Okay. TJ, so let me finish this reading and then I can explain what I do and don't do. So with the 5 of Wands in reverse, I feel like this is like indicative of it feels kind of like an uphill battle in terms of dealing with however you're putting yourself out there, like a lot of competition and having to find ways to just avoid all of that, and it just feels like it's not panning out, mostly because of the all right. So anyways, so sorry, trying to figure out the back end of this thing. There we go. Oh, you're a 10-year single. Yeah, I think so. The Magician card is really what's the indicator for me. The Magician is all about manifesting and creating the things that you're wishing for, but in reverse, there's just a huge disconnect. I don't know if this means that maybe you've been putting yourself out there in different ways, trying to see what sticks, but nothing really has. So I think that if I were to make a suggestion based off of what I see here, is to reflect on the periods where things were working and what changed, right? And how can you get back to that period? And what I mean by that is, like, just because it was working at one point and kind of stopped, maybe you stopped too soon or something like that. It's all about reflecting back on what was working or what wasn't, and how you can shift things to work better in your favor. So I don't feel like anything is happening right now. but even with the Magician showing up in reverse, I think that you're capable of it. It's just whatever you're doing is just not jiving for some reason. All right, TJ. So give me 1 second. So I don't do readings about like other people's thoughts or other people who aren't here to consent to giving a reading about themselves. I can do like future readings, but it depends on the question, whether it's something that, something worthwhile, I guess. So just let me know. I think I just broke this. There we go. Hi, Chime. Hi, Christina. I'm going to ask you again for your question. TJ's getting their question in the chat. So just as a heads up. All right, there we go. Figured it out. Christina, please don't spam your question or I won't do your reading. TJ, just go ahead, try to put something out there and I can help you reframe it. I do that often, so don't feel like it has to be perfect. But you can always okay, so you can do one of those two. Like, do you want to know just overall if your love life will improve, or specifically if you'll find the guy who will be your life partner? So either or, just pick which of those questions you like and I'm happy to do that. I think I would ask instead of will those things happen, like what you can do to make those happen. I think that's probably a better way to frame it, if that makes sense. Okay, let's see how you can I'll do what you can do to improve your love life. How's that? You're welcome. I love helping people like shape their questions to mean what they're wanting it to mean. So we have the 3 of Swords in reverse and the Ace of... Wait, no. I think these are Wands. I can't read upside down. We have the Three of Wands in reverse and the Ace of Wands in reverse. So the good thing about this is you have these Wands cards, which means you have a lot of energy around you. Wands is fire, so there's a lot of like growth and warmth and all of the things that come with fire. And you're there. That also means that you probably have some sort of spark under you to that allows you to take action in the right ways. It's just maybe you need a little help making things actionable. So the Three of Wands in reverse kind of indicates that I would ask, have you made a plan or really solidified what you envisioned your love life to look like? And I think a lot of times when you haven't done that, you kind of roam aimlessly and you're searching aimlessly and you're just kind of throwing stuff against the wall to see what sticks. And I don't think that ever really works out well. And what ends up happening is you're faced with a lot of delays. It just you go down a bunch of different paths that don't work right, and you end up having to backtrack, right? But the Three of Wands overall is really about planning and what it means to really expand into, I guess, into what your love life would look like. And if you can shape that, having this fire energy is really great because you have that fuel that will project you forward. And you're really on, if you can turn this energy around, you're really on a path to get things moving, so to speak. So the Three of Wands, really try to plan out, or not plan out, that feels so like cerebral, I guess. But try to really envision what you want your love life to look like. What things do you think of? What comes to mind when you envision your love life? You can even write them down, make it a fun journaling exercise or something like that. And then the Ace of Wands, also similar thing. The Ace of Wands shows me that it's a manifestation of the same roadblocks that you're getting from the Three of Wands in reverse. The problem is you're expelling all of your energy into these different avenues that just don't quite work right, and then instead it's draining you. So I think that this is a sign that if you turn this around, this will start to reshape everything else down the line, and hopefully will kind of upright that Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands can be a really fun card too. It could be about enjoying the process a little bit more. So I'm trying to think of how I want to word it, but it could be about connecting with people more physically and having a good time and not putting pressure on yourself, if you get what I'm getting at, and taking the burden off of yourself. So in doing that, paired with having more of a vision, like, so there's part of it, you do a little bit of the pre-planning, even though it sounds so boring, and the other part is just be a little more fun and relaxed with it. It's like, you know, when you're trying to find something and you're looking way too hard, and then you're like, okay, whatever, and you stop looking for it, and then it's suddenly like right in front of your face. It's that's how this feels for the most part. So like, you know, it almost feels like stop trying so hard, decide what it is you want your love life to look like, and then just relax and let it come to you. Christina, if you're still in the chat, can you repost your question for me? You're welcome. Thanks for letting me shape your question for you. All right, last call for Christina. Alrighty, guys. So I think I'm gonna call it a night here. I do want to get back to my normal time, and I'm so sorry for the technical difficulties, but thank you guys for sticking it out with me, and I will see you guys on the flip side. Make sure you join my Discord for some book discussions, witchy chats, tarot, literally everything. So, all right, I will see you guys. Have a great night. Find smiles. Thanks for bringing a smile to the chat. Bye, y'all.